on this journey in building prosperity, on this journey of building a stronger, better, more sustainable and resilient Guyana, in which every segment of our Guyanese population will rise and progress right here at home. We have made very clear that as a party, we want to incorporate as widely as possible all the views of every segment of our population. The religious community, women, youth, farmers, those of our fisher folk, businesses, ordinary citizens, athletes, every single segment, those in the creative industry, every segment of the Guyanese population, we want to be part of this discourse, because this is the discourse that will finalize the plan that will position Guyana to be a leader globally in some very key areas. Next week, for example, we will be hosting the Global Biodiversity Alliance here in Guyana. We have already shown the world that we can provide the best leadership on forestry and environmental services. Today, Guyana is a reference point globally on forests and environmental services. We're the reference point on food security. We will be the reference point on biodiversity. What is important is that we want to be the reference point of a high quality life here in Guyana, in which our citizens will enjoy a quality of life that is second to none. So it is about building the framework. It's about creating the opportunities and investing in the key areas that are critical for the advancement of our country. We will not spend much time today on our track record on everything we have done so far. I think in this room we have enough people who are capable of doing their analysis, enough people who are associated with the day-to-day development and movement of our country, and we don't need to go over that narrative with you. We want to spend as much time as possible today talking about the future, letting you understand what are the critical things we want us to pursue together as a people. And hearing from you also, what are your ideas, what are your additional thoughts, and even testing some of the ideas that we have here in the room. You're all aware that our development is crafted in a foundational document, which is the Low Carbon Development Strategy. The LCDS 2030 is not an environmental or climate strategy. It is a national development strategy that is being replicated around the world now. So I would urge as many of you, and maybe even our support team here, to ensure that we get in your hands. If you don't have it today, you can get it electronically to the LCDS, because it is an important reference document for all of us. So today is about framing what we want to achieve in the next 5 years. And the next 5 years are important because these are the years that will lay the bedrock, the foundation through which the development will take place, creating a united and prosperous Guyana, where there is sustainable management of our macroeconomic framework, where opportunities are created for our people, where our borders are defended, where our national sovereignty and territorial integrity is intact, where there is free expression of speech and democracy, where we have an open society, a vibrant society, a society in which people can achieve their aspirations. These are the things that will set us apart as we develop and as we move forward. Today, I want to say to you that one of the important things is about building an inclusive Guyana. But an inclusive Guyana for us is not only about the inclusion of people. An inclusive Guyana is where all of Guyana are fully and optimally participating in the different areas of transformation for our country. For us, it's about economic inclusion, financial inclusion, technological inclusion, inclusion that will see every segment of the Guyanese population participating in investment opportunities, creating a social framework, social development that includes all of our people, moving towards equality of life, political inclusion, people inclusion. And when I say people inclusion, it also involves our diaspora. How we want to capitalize and mobilize our diaspora in this transformative journey ahead of us. When we talk about financial inclusion, it is about how we empower every household, how we improve the financial position, have more disposable income available. So there are clear strategies through which the inclusive plan will be built. Inclusion of women, children, inclusion of every segment of our Guyanese population. So this philosophy of inclusion is one that will guide everything that we do. It will guide the strategies for job creation, improving livelihoods, expanding economic opportunity, and involving young people in this new economy that we are building. It's important for us to understand that the new, and I made this point before, the new economy will be fueled by revenue from oil and gas and other segments of the economy. But wealth creation depends on the policy and the areas in which you invest that revenue to create jobs of the future, to ensure that the jobs of the future include the aspirations of our young people. That is why we want to have a highly skilled professional group in our country that will drive development, that will improve our competitiveness, that will enhance the prospects of our country. So as we confront this future, there are some key areas that we have to address. First is what constitutes fueling growth, creating jobs, and improving life. Fundamental to this theme involves disposable income, expanded sources of revenue, and reducing the cost of living. Recently, I had the good fortunes of being in a room in which different policies from the region was being examined in relation to cost of living. And Guyana was singled out as one of the countries that would have embraced a holistic approach to cost of living issues. And as a result, we were able to ensure that most of the effect of global cost increases was not passed on to the final consumer. But how are we going to ensure in the future that more small businesses are involved in the development of our country? How are we going to ensure that they have access to capital? How are we going to ensure that the bureaucracy in getting access to capital is removed? How are we going to ensure that the banking system is modernized to support small and medium-sized enterprise? How are we going to ensure that we can leverage the liquidity in the banking system to support small and medium-sized enterprises? And more importantly, how are we going to ensure that we create sustainable opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises? These are the key issues. To do that, we have to invest in infrastructure. We have to invest in the opportunities. We have to diversify the economy. We have to move now to value creation. One of our most inhibitive factors in dealing with value creation is the cost of energy. Today we are on a journey of resolving the issue of cost of energy. Once we have that low-cost energies, manufacturing, industrial development, agro-processing, and all of those opportunities will come on stream. That is why we're investing heavily in our productivity also, ensuring that we can produce all our corn, all our soya, investing in the ecosystem to support small and medium-sized enterprises in the different areas, not only at a production level, but ensuring that we have all the international requirements, the sanitary requirements, we have the market orientation, we have all the trade barriers removed, and that is where the hard work is. Working to remove those trade barriers. So in the plan, we want to establish a development plan to support co-financing, to support access to liquidity, to reduce the cost of borrowing, and to remove the collateral requirement. Because these are the burdens that small and medium-sized enterprise face today. So if you're able to match lending with a 0% interest rate, we can bring down the interest rate in the commercial bank from 6% or 7% to 3% for SMEs. And then when we remove the risk, by making the matching rate to be able to remove the risk, the bank in turn will have to reduce that collateral requirement that is there right now. So access to financing becomes easier, much more simple, and at less cost. We're looking also at the opening up of hundreds of thousands of acres of new land, because we want to position Guyana as the food capital of the region. The construction and upgrading of farm-to-market access roads, investment in our drainage and irrigation system, co-investing in value-added opportunities. For example, we have the urea plant, fertilizer plant that we want to invest in. But we want Guyanese to own that plant, because that plant would contribute to national security. So every single Guyanese would have an opportunity to invest in that plant and have a decent return on their investment. It is not only about salary, increasing salaries. Many people look narrowly at increasing salary. It's increasing welfare. It's increasing it's creating new opportunities of revenue for you, so that you can invest your resources. Because when you look at salaries, the government cannot be in a position where we are out competing the private sector. And we have to look at ways in which persons can earn variable income by investing in opportunities in the country. And that is exactly what we want to pursue. Where the ordinary household can invest in various opportunities in the country, diversify their revenue, the different areas for revenue for themselves, and create prosperity in the home. That is what creates prosperity. Not only increasing salaries, it's advancing opportunities, opening up new areas of opportunity. And that is what we'll be investing in. And when we speak about small and medium-sized enterprises, we're not speaking about those only in mining. We're speaking, those in agriculture. We're speaking about the small and medium-sized miners, those in mining, those in forestry, because these are key areas. Mining and forestry are areas in which we have to be able to support the small and medium-sized operators. And they need support in technology, they need support in capital, and they need support in infrastructure. Those are the three key areas that they require support in. And these are the areas in which we'll invest heavily to support them. We also want to continue to review the local content legislation so that more and more opportunities can be delivered to our local private sector, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises. One of the unresolved issues that we'll continue to work on is the speed at which you receive payment in the oil and gas sector. That is something that affects many of you. Your cash flow is seriously affected. You're working with the banking sector so that they can create the instruments that will allow you to have access to capital through invoicing, through recognition of the contracts itself. We are not pleased at the pace at which the banking sector has been modernizing itself to use these tools, but we're going to create an enabling environment to have these tools utilized as anywhere else in the world. To back our investment for SMEs, we must continue to invest heavily in human capital. Investment in human capital is important, not only in the formal areas of education, but investing heavily in technical education and linking more training to economic opportunity. So when we look at creating entrepreneurs, we have to be able to link the type of technical education to economic opportunity, to earning opportunities. And we started that with the welding and fabrication program. We have to expand those programs. Look at the areas in the future that we want economic wealth to be created in, and then train the human capital to work in those areas. We also have to change mindset. We also have to change our mindset. When persons finish CXC, for example, we have to be able to have an education program that allows them to understand the opportunities in the economy and to pursue career paths that also utilize the opportunities that is being created in the economy itself. So we're going to continue to invest, of course, in this world-class education system. We've already removed corporate tax from all private education providers, but we're going to expand this scholarship program, and we're going to go to more areas of specialization. We are building nursing schools. We want to take medical university, make medical education more accessible in the different regions. These are things that we're going to invest in. Region 6, for example, we have a teaching hospital that will be constructed at New Amsterdam. We have the Guyana Digital School that is being created to have equal access and bridge the divide across our country. So our modern education system deals with accessibility, equity in terms of delivery, having 100% trained teachers, then moving to train graduate teachers, and of course, in each category of employment, there is added incentives. So our education system will see continued investment because we want them to be a hub of educational services so that we can earn revenue through that type of educational services. So one of the things that we have seen with the pre-university education now is that we have more than 20,000 applications, I was told, at the University of Ghana. So we're discussing at the moment how we use the same rates at the University of Ghana that we are financing in the private universities. Because many of the private universities would have written us and say, listen, we can offer the same degree program that UT is offering at universities in UK and other places at the same rate that the University of Ghana is charging, so that they want to be involved in that program. And because of the high demand that is coming in at the University of Ghana now, we will be consulting with those providers to see how we can include them in the pre-education program up to that value. Because today, more of our young people with opportunity in hand want to be doctors, pharmacists, medical technologists. So we don't want to deny them that opportunity. So we want to maximize all the available institutions and opportunities within our country. I know a lot of people are suffering from the hot room right now, but don't worry, we have to be resilient. Important also in the development of our countries, ensuring that we have a safe country, a secure country. We want to ensure that people can live in safety and feel secure in every single community. That is why we're going to be deploying technology at its maximum. Not only we're looking at e-ticketing and having digital security solutions across our country, but the e-ID card that we're creating will also enhance the investment that we're making in security. We want people to have a quality of life in which they're secure in their homes, they're secure on the streets. So we'll have a more agile security architecture, supported heavily by technology, so that we can remove human biases in the system. People can have faster access to justice, more equitable access to justice. These are things that are important to quality of life, and these are the things that we're going to invest in when it comes to quality of life. So, creating a safe and secure country also requires us to have good infrastructure. We have just started a program of providing lighting on every street so that people can feel safe on the streets in the night. You started a program of cleaning up communities, and this is a big part of securing our communities, having clean communities, communities in which we can have our children and our family moving safely from a health perspective, from a hardcore security perspective, from a recreational perspective. All of this forms part of that safety net, that safe community and environment that we want to create. And the religious community must also play a key role in this. That is why we said that we're going to embrace a program in which we're going to leverage the power of our religious organizations, churches, mosques, temples within the community, financially supporting them so that they can be part of building our country from community all the way up. So security is about promoting a citizen-friendly, community-oriented security apparatus. That is important for us, ensuring that it's a citizen-friendly. We're now on the verge of signing on to a new technology to support women who are affected by domestic violence and other forms of violence. What are we doing for them? There is now the digital button that we're investing in that is connected to a central database. And once we have persons who have made a report, we give them one such digital button. And with the press of a button, they will be able, the security forces and those persons who are in the central unit will be able to know that they're in danger, where they are, and send support and help for them. So it is similar to this is what the modern world is doing. So technology is going to be a major part of what we're doing. Affordable homes and stronger communities. We want to invest so that every single Guyanese family will not only own a house lot, but will be able to own their own homes. We have been able to reduce the cost of interest rate substantially. We now have a ceiling for New Building Society at $30 billion. We have tax incentive rebate that you get for investment in your homes. But we're going to continue to find new and innovative ways in which we can make it even easier for you to own your own homes with interest rate, tax incentives, financial incentives, subsidies. You already have the steel and cement subsidy. We are going to expand those existing framework because we want every single Guyanese family to own their own home. We want those who have land to move from land ownership to home ownership, because home ownership is part of family empowerment, community empowerment. It improves your net value. It gives you leverage to capital. You know, we're talking recently to some young professionals. They paid $22 million for their home right here in Providence. The bank is now valuing those homes at a minimum of $75 billion. That is an investment of $22 billion that gives you liquidity up to $75 billion so you can reinvest in the opportunities that you are creating. That is how we create prosperity. That is how we create new forms of wealth. When we can give you the opportunity to increase your net value, your net asset worth, and then create the opportunities and the vehicle through which you can invest that improvement to get more income for yourself and expand your revenue base as a family. So affordable homes, stronger community is also about improvement in infrastructure within the community. We know that we have to resolve the small drainage problems in the community, the garbage problems within the community. These are things that we must fix, and fix now, in building a modern society, in building a society that gives you the quality of life that we want you to enjoy. Then we have also the investment in infrastructure to unlock opportunities and improve welfare. What are we doing? We are looking to interconnect all the regions of our country, but whilst we interconnect the regions of our country, we are looking to open up new opportunities by creating access to new lands. Hundreds of thousands of acres of new lands will be created. We are looking at opening up opportunity for new areas for forestry, mining. These are things that are key and important. That is why we're already talking about linking Tiberi to Sandhill to Region 7, and then the Goshen Road coming up to the Del Monte route going all the way to Bartica. So you can be driving from Region 7, connected to Region 3, connected to Region 10, connected to Region 4, and then a new bridge across the Barbis River going all the way connected to Region 6, and then connecting all the way over the Coronary River to Suriname. That is the infrastructure route. What we call it the new development link and development route that will open up markets, open up opportunities, because we are positioning Guyana to be an energy hub for the region. We have to create the logistics and transportation infrastructure to support the investments that we are making to make Guyana that central hub for the Caribbean and the rest of the region. So our infrastructure is not just about building out, it's about building out opportunities, creating growth, expanding the economy, and investing in the people and communities across our country. If we are going to just go through some of the transformative infrastructure, we already spoke about the arena, the indoor arena. This is important for our tourism product. It's important for all the hotels that we're building. We have to be in a position to welcome 3 million people through our economy by 2030 because of the services that we are building. To do that, we have to have world-class facility, a world-class arena, so we can host any international event, whether it's the MMA, whether it's boxing, whether it's international concerts, and we have to bring those things so that we create opportunities here in Guyana. We're talking about the new stadium in Region 6, the new stadium in Region 3. We're talking about new hospitals, many new hospitals, private hospitals. It's because we want Guyana also to be a medical tourism hub. These are the things that we're investing in. Major investment coming from leaders in ecotourism services, nature-based tourism. We have all-inclusive resorts that are coming, already in the pipeline, already in the final stages of discussion. These are the things that will create the next level of opportunities and wealth for our country. So investment, we are talking about the Wales Development Authority and the Wales Industrial Hub. That's the first gas line. But we're already flying ahead to the second gas line that will be linked to the deepwater port in Barbis, giving us for the first time an opportunity to leverage the energy opportunity that will come with that, so that we can now move towards the opportunities that exist in value creation for our bauxite, creating cheaper power, enabling an industrial and manufacturing hub in Region 6, linking that manufacturing and industrial hub to Region 3 with infrastructure, investment in infrastructure. The new road that is going to Letem, linking to northern Brazil already. The Caribbean has signed on, the Guyana being the regional food hub. The opportunities that will create for transport and logistics. We're now working on the final stages of having the barriers for the movement of the food removed. You've just signed an agreement with Bloomberg Grains, one of the best world-class facility that will work with us on accessing all the global markets. That is what we're doing. Building out opportunities, creating and investing in infrastructure that will lead to mind-blowing opportunities ahead of us. Of course, key to our strategy is a digital Guyana, an inclusive digital Guyana, where access to technology will enable us to compete where access to technology will reduce the time. Access to technology will allow us to reduce the time it takes to catch up with the rest of the world. Digital education, digital health, digital traffic management, digital renewal of license and other government services. The digitalization of Guyana is aimed at removing the bureaucracy from the system. It is enabling the system. It is aimed at removing the biases, reducing leakages in the system, improving transparency, enhancing productivity and competitiveness. That is what the digital strategy is all about. Leapfrogging Guyana into the next phase of global advancement and development. In this digital strategy and the strategy of building a strong Guyana, of course, we have to ensure that our hinterland communities, our Amerindians, women and children, that they have access to opportunities. And we have specific development that you can follow in some of the literature we have already shared with you. You have specific ideas, specific programs to target these various groups. We want to ensure that our brothers and sisters living with different forms of disability, that they are involved in the active economic life of our country. So we're going to use technology to create opportunities for them, economic empowerment, to give them also the opportunity to earn and live in dignity, and live in pride, and have a quality life also. Investment in sporting infrastructure and facilities that allow our athletes to have the best training facility, to be well prepared, to give them the best opportunity to shine as best as they can. These are the things that are important. Investing in recreation facilities, community grounds. Because quality of life requires an entire ecosystem that supports world-class health, world-class education, world-class recreation, world-class infrastructure, and a support mechanism that allows person to grow and develop. Now, all of this must be supported by strong governance. It must be supported by strong governance. We're going to continue to invest in improving the governance mechanism of our country. We have the constitutional reform process that is ongoing. We have to ensure that our judiciary continues to be reformed and that there is a level of predictability that is based on quality, a quality judiciary, and quality personnel functioning within the judiciary. We have to ensure that there's efficiency in the way the judiciary operate. Every level, every branch of government will have to be reorganized in this new economy for the efficiency that we want to achieve. And we want to make it very clear that our traditional sectors, our rice farms, we already said that we have to invest in ensuring there is price stability for our rice farmers, setting a minimum benchmark so that they will know that the government will support them. We have to set up a stabilization fund. I know when the Vice President was president, we had a big discussion around this. How can we create that stabilization fund? We have worked for years on getting insurance for our rice farmers. Today, we have been successful in getting insurance for 6,000 rice farmers. And we're going to launch that program very soon. We want to invest in facilities to help them with storage and the drying facility for rice, but also the storage, so that we can have massive storage area for growing production, and we can have that storage area linked to markets. So if there is a fall in price, we know that we have enough storage area to cushion us for a longer period until the price gets better. It's creating an enabling environment for stabilization. these industries. The poultry industry, for example, we're doing backward and forward linkages now, where we're planting and investing in all the production is required to create the feed right here, to manufacture the feed right here. And then in the forward linkage, supporting investment in the in processing facility. Because value creation is what is going to take us to the next level. For young people, we are now working to have an aviation school. I see young Jerry here. An aviation school, not just for pilots, but for every category of the aviation world. Because today, the gap, aviation and nursing, are the two areas with the largest human resource gap globally. And we have to prepare our young people for these opportunities. When we speak to our young people, some of the things that they want. You want access to vehicles. You want low taxes on vehicles. Am I not right? Yes. We're going to have a special mechanism through which four-door vehicles, the four-door pickup, will come at lower taxes. It seems that that's the only thing that excites me. But when you look at taxation, I want you to know that we're going to pursue a taxation system that is going to lower the tax burden, improve tax compliance, and put more money back in your pockets. That is the strategy. But I want to make it clear, all of you will have to work with us on this. Because when we lower taxes, we have to ensure that tax compliance, the tax base, everyone pay their taxes. Because once this happens, more and more incentives can be given to the population. Including Lamborghini. Y'all don't worry Lamborghini. Let me stick to the board a little bit up. Alright, so this is important because we want you to own more things. Let me make it very clear. God spoke about working class principles. Working class principles does not mean we don't support the business community. We have to support the business community because the business community must be able to grow. We want our businesses to become more wealthy. We want our farmers to become more wealthy. We want all of them to become more wealthy. And we want to support. We want to create incentives. We want to pursue the policies that will generate more wealth. The country must not only grow, individuals, families, businesses, every single person must grow. That is what we invest in. So, as we pursue this future, as we pursue these strategies and these ideas, it is important that all of us understand our responsibility. And listen, this strategy also requires of us the new city to city, exciting projects ahead of us. But these strategies will also require from us a new way of thinking. We will have to change the way we approach different issues. We can have the best policies, but if we don't change our thinking, if we don't change our approach, then we will not be able to optimize the benefit of those strategies and policies. So, as we continue to work towards financial empowerment, financial literacy is important. And when we speak about financial empowerment, by the end of this year, we will complete the work on having the single payment platform ready for Guyana. And that is the same payment platform that the developing world and developed world is using. The payment platform would allow you to sit from your home, transfer your accounts between banks, between accounts, make payments. This is what is needed for us to improve our competitiveness. You don't have to stand in lines in the bank. The modern society is not about lines. It's about ease of access. It's about removing bureaucracy, comfort in doing business. And our local banking sector will have to get up to speed with these reforms that must take place and will take place in the immediate future. So, financial literacy, financial inclusion, capital market reforms, and innovative investment instruments are some of the things. You know, many of you, when I go through the suggestions that already came in, you're speaking about creating special bonds, development bonds, diaspora bonds. These are the things that we're going to pursue so that we can raise financing within our population and even in the diaspora itself and give them the opportunity to get the returns from those financing, those opportunities. The idea here is to give these large-scale national opportunity to Guyanese first, to give it to our population first. So the grants, the increase in salaries, increase in old age pension, increase in subsidies, improvement on taxes, those are things that will come naturally with the People's Progressive Party today. But we're talking about beyond that, the transformative agenda. What constitutes this transformative agenda? That is going to create sustainable, long-lasting wealth. By 2027, we will have two of the largest mining production operational here in Guyana. Outside oil and gas, we will have more FPSO coming on board. By 2027, two of the largest mines in South America will be operational here in Guyana. This is, right now, one already started recruitment. They're looking for over 1,200 workers now, and they can't find those workers here. And that's an issue. I know many of you have already raised. Where the workforce will come from. That is why we are in the final stages now of reviewing all of the migration documentation and labor laws that other countries would have utilized to come up with our own migration policy to support the development. The Attorney General Office, they have already drafted the framework for that new legislation because we need the people to push this development. But we are going to ensure one thing, we maximize what we have here. The creative industry. We want our artists to be performing all over the world. That is why we're going to invest in infrastructure to support them. Not only the studios, but grants so that they can enhance their own skill set. And how do you do this? You do this by creating infrastructure. If we can bring 5 or 6 international concerts here and ensure that they are given the opportunity to be showcased on those stages, it gives them presence. We're investing also in sports tourism. You have seen in just 2 years how the Global Super League is growing. This is a product that will be owned by Guyana. Just research what these tournaments are doing for other countries. And with the size of our diaspora, we have to leverage that diaspora power. Important to the development strategy. So as we pursue, you have some of the literature before you. I don't want to keep you much longer. I can go through with you a long list of infrastructure, hinterland roads, major investment in the hinterland for forestry sector or mining sector. But what you will see at the end of this 5 years is the infrastructure interlink and loop that we are creating to connect every single region of Guyana with the aim of opening up new opportunity, new lands, and expanding our economic prospects. That is what is right. That is what is right. Finally, I would say Also, to achieve these things, the structure of government, the structure of our government itself will have to change to reflect these priorities, to reflect these new areas of development. We have to look at efficiency and competitiveness in government. That is going to be a major aspect of our work, enhancing our implementation rate, looking at government efficiency and ways in which competitiveness is maintained within the economy. These are the investments that are critical. But at the end of these 5 years, we want Guyana to be the leader in this region on energy, on food, on biodiversity services, on climate and forest services. Those are 5 things that we must be recognized for globally, provide global leadership, and the custodian of a think tank here. We must be a population that is highly skilled, highly motivated, competitive. We're talking about, in 3 years, a situation where every single teacher will not only be trained, but be a trained graduate. Most of them, they trained graduate with postgraduate qualification. And we're incentivizing every single additional qualification our teachers, our nurses. But today, national development is not only about the public servants who are working in public service. It's about the private sector employees. And ensuring that we have policies that give them opportunities also. The government cannot be in competition with the private sector, as I said. We have to create an enabling environment in which every single young person in public service or out of public service, every single Guyanese can have access to opportunities that will accelerate their own development. So today, I want to stop here, and I want to say to all of you that we have an exciting future ahead of us. We have an exciting future ahead of us. This future requires bold decision, it requires risk-taking, it requires experience. Handling our territorial challenges and our sovereignty is not a simple task. Sometimes we make things so very simple. But it requires constant negotiations, constant relationship building. It requires having international presence. Today, every single state in the world is celebrating our stint at the United Nations Security Council. And we should all be proud of it. We have stayed with certain values that drive our foreign policy, values that drive our development, people-centered, people-oriented, values that drive the new wave of wealth creation, the key areas of investment. These are important because our economy must be one that is balanced. We've seen around us countries that made the mistake of treating oil, of treating natural resources revenue as wealth. You see around us, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, natural resources revenue is not wealth, it is revenue to be invested to create wealth. And that is what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So I want to stop here. I want to thank you very much for your time. And of course, the discourse will follow, and the Vice President and General Secretary will now address us and outline the course of action to follow. Thank you.